Hello everyone, it's Adamant, and you might be wondering who this creepy guy is behind me. This is my character Noxious. She is a toxic-based energy blaster or DPS class with dots. And this dude is the test dummy that we're going to be beating up on, showing you how it's done. So, without further ado, let's do a backflip. Yeah. So the way this build works, I would like to show you some of the, we have an acrobatics or athletics that I took as my movement power. I think it's pretty cool. It's very fun to get around the map doing flips of all types, and it's really cool. Very Spider-Man-like, but... so the way this build works is you'll notice that I am a... let's look at the power sets. You can, of course, see the whole build below. This is only a level 32 build at this point. I'm leveling up. So, but I feel like I've been doing... Like, I paid attention to all the... kind of hit all the marks for end game or level 40 sort of archetypes. But when you build from scratch and you level up, there's a couple of different tricks that you need to know. So I'll be going over the basics of your like level 30 to 40 build. But as you're leveling up, you can't really follow all the necessary points that I'm about to talk about. So first off, we're going to talk about the super stats. I have Ego, because I want to do the most range damage, and then Constitution just to be survivable, and a big endurance pool to, you know, set my some of my poison effects. You want to just be able to maintain them for long periods of time. So get up to a full endurance pool and then maintain your power effects as long as possible. So the trick with this game is there's a couple things that, you know, it all depends on how you want to play it. This game, you don't have to be a min-maxer, but there are ways to be more effective than others. And you have to really know all the power synergies and all the ways that things work across the power sets, especially if you're doing a freeform build. Obviously, that's where you're going to get the ability to maximize your character. So without going too deep and too number crunchy, there's just a couple of things that I do typically to make a difference in a character. Number one is when you look at your powers, you want to make sure you hit a few very important things. And that's pretty simple. It is, of course, it depends on your build, if you're a DPS or a tank, whatever, but for the most part, you're going to want to always have a energy unlock. And the energy unlock will synergize with your powers, and this will give you a boost of basically the ability to maintain your energy at a pretty high level without using your energy builder constantly. Now, of course, the energy builder is going to be a fundamental part of your rotation, but the energy unlock is really important. So always look for that, and look for the one that fits your character the best. You know, there's a lot of different ones. I think the one that's probably very useful, but not very not often talked about, is the one in Gadget. So you go to Gadgeteering, filter by unavailable, and if you scroll down to the energy unlock, there is a molecular self-assembly. That's a great one. So just read how they work, and it activates on anytime you have a power become ready. So basically when a cooldown is complete, then you get a boost of energy. So that's a really good one to use in a lot of different builds. It's but in my case, I use Mephitic, which triggers off of poison. So I'm doing a lot of poison dots, so it's a perfect energy unlock for me. All right, after energy unlock, of course, every single character, no matter what you're doing, make sure you get a block. I'd be surprised if there's anything out there, any reason to not have a fully slotted block. Okay, after that, you want a toggle form. This is a buff form that sits on your character. I have aspect of the Infernal, and I can't use it now because I'm talking about powers. But aspect of the Infernal, of course, works. It works just like concentration, but it works for poison refresh stacks. So synergize with my poison ability. Slotted passives, of course. Now, typically the level 40 build, you want to have both. You want to have a slotted offensive and a slotted defensive passive. And the reason for that is sometimes you need to be more survivable with, but some people don't believe in that. If you're going to be a DPS character, just go with your offensive passive, and that's probably fine. This game, keep in mind, is from 2009. If you haven't been playing MMOs that long, MMOs have changed quite a bit across the years, but in the early stages of MMOs, they really leaned on teaming and the role-based teams. So if you were a DPS, you had to commit yourself to damage and let your tank protect you and let your support characters support you and play those roles as fully as you could. If you went with everyone kind of being hybrid, then teams would get wiped because no one would be able to really do their particular job well enough. So it was a very different time in MMOs where you almost felt like without a good solid team and good synergy in that team, like really people letting the tank take aggro and stepping back and letting letting those people do their roles without jumping the gun. And it's very different now. Now they tend to be more forgiving, and you can solo a lot of content and things like that. Not so much here. Okay, sorry. The next one you always want to make sure you have is some self-heals. So I go with Resurgence as a good self-heal. It does fit my power set, but not really always. And then I have a healing maintain as well, but that's not necessary. But at least you should have a way of gaining... and there's a couple of different ones. Conviction, Resurgence. There's a few self-heals that you could take in your particular power set. So look for those. And then I usually take an AoE and a single target DPS, but you might have different ways of doing things, like maybe you have a cone AoE or a different narrow attack, but you don't need 5 attacks. You only need a small rotation. So your energy builder, my AoE, poison, and then a ranged, single target DPS for like bosses and just, people I want to burn down. So that's the way I sort of build by that template. Everything else that I have supports those things. So I have a power conversion, which gives me a boost because I'm so low on my initial energy. Power conversion is a great way to start the battle, and I'll show you how those rotations work. Will-o'-the-wisp is a debuff. I start the battle with that and try to get as many stacks of poison effects on them. And everything else, like you said, was just complementary to my attacks. So that's my toxin build. You can see the full build in the description below. Click that to look at the builder, and feel free to make changes. And this is just my guideline. You can fit a more thematic or add something to make your character unique. The benefits and the bonus of playing free to play is this game is really diverse. You can make the superhero you want, and also try to make it effective. Why not? So here's how the rotation works. First, I'll set up I'm going to fully charge my Aspect of the Infernal. That's my buff form. I always want to have that on. And that gives me these stacks of concentration. You'll see them build up as I attack. And we can build energy this way, or, well, we have someone helping. Thanks. Thanks for the help. I appreciate the assistance. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to get my stacks of concentration up. So let's try that. And you'll notice, see how my energy and my threshold there, my whatever it's called, equilibrium energy is really low. So this is why I use this. Watch the energy burst up in a huge amount. Look at that. I get 240 energy. So I can start with that. I can start. Let me get my stacks of concentration up. I think if I just tap it, but I'll lose all my... I get them faster if I go a full maintain. And you can see my equilibrium's already up, or my power conversion is already up again, so I can just keep hitting that. It's pretty fantastic for this build. Honestly, it's one of the best. Alright, so I just want to get my 6 stacks of concentration. And then we can watch all the debuffs and things happening to our our buddy here. And there's 6 stacks. Okay, so now my rotation would just typically be keeping all these poison stacks up. We'll do full maintains. If I am surrounded, I can do full maintains there and just blast away. So 2,000. It's pretty reasonable damage. I mean, critting for 3k at level 32 is pretty decent. My gear is really low, so it's definitely just kind of doing what it's doing. And you can see after I maintain that, I'll show you how long the oh, I'm not even hitting this either. Me to do a few more blasts with. See how much energy I'm gaining back from all the stacks of poison too? So I don't even need to use my energy builder if I don't want to, because my Mephitic is triggering on every. So I don't have any energy problems, basically, is what it comes down to, which is exactly where you want to be with a low recovery character. Alright, and then I'm going to stop doing damage and watch how long it ticks on for. Hold on. Okay, so it'll just tick away hundreds and hundreds of damage as we stand here in all the stacks. But that's that feels pretty good. It feels like a strong amount of dots, and I'm also doing that as AoE damage. Okay, so that is the single target stuff. Let's show you in actual battle how I can burn down groups. So we'll go to the battle station real quick, and we'll do our favorite purple gang bad guys, at least while I'm practicing and learning how to do my attack rotations, etc. Now, of course, with we'll do team size 5. We'll do the maximum team size just to put the true challenge on. Now, one of the things that's difficult about is simply the dexterity needed to coordinate my attacks while I'm still learning things about characters. This can be a really tricky one because they have so many targets, and I don't have any. Remember, I'm not defensive at all. I'm fully offensive. So if I don't have a team around me or someone who can get in and get their attention first, like a melee character or someone like, it doesn't even have to be a tank, just someone with a little more toughness than me. I do have over 5k hit points because I'm constitution based, so I can take a few hits, but I really don't have any defenses to speak of. And you can look at the character sheet here, sorry. I mean, it's just sad. My defense rating is 73 from gear, sure, that's fine. But I have hardly any dodge, hardly any avoidance. I'm just going to get wrecked here. So we will go in, we'll power up. I'll use my movement power just so I can jump in, kind of get him by surprise, and then we'll try to go to town. And I'll definitely be using my resurgence almost immediately too, I think. Okay, quick block. And then I'm about to die, and I'm already dead. Darn it. Well, that was not... that didn't go as planned. Hold on. What was I doing wrong? AoE poison. I think I got their attention. I didn't hit my... I got knocked back and I didn't hit my resurgence quick enough. So we'll reset it and do it again. I know I can do better than that. That was a little bit sad. But don't feel bad. It's all going to be okay. It's only a simulation. Purple gang. Hard. 5. Alright. Let's try again. This time with less messing up. Is that not on? Okay. I guess I could wait 16 seconds to get my boost. Now this boost gives me another additional 60% damage for 15 seconds. So that's something I need to impact this group a lot stronger. All right, number 4. Okay, pretty good. Let's get a maintain heal on, and yeah, we're fine now. We just had to... I don't know. I don't honestly know what I did wrong the first time. I think I was just nervous. Because that's a much better result than the... And we can go straight into another fight. We've got plenty of energy and everything, so let's do it. Ooh! I spoke too soon. Block, block, block. I couldn't get my block off. It seems weird. Like, I don't know if it's something that they're doing or it's my powers rotation. I don't have the ability to block. But that, it just seems so like hit and miss. And I think it's just a matter of blocking right and doing the right amount of damage with AoEs and burning down the opponent quicker than they can do damage. Because when I just sit there and let them all attack me like that, you can see how quickly and how much of a glass cannon I am. But I think that's enough to kind of show what the build can do, and when you play it right, it's pretty devastating. And then when you play it wrong, you have to basically learn the different, the different ways to generate damage and protect yourself. Ultimately, I really like this block too. The block in that, I just like the way it looks. It's really cool to me. I also like the green effect when I hit that. Okay, well, hope you enjoyed this build guide. Have a great rest of your day, and if you have any suggestions or tips, I'm still learning the game, so I'm always willing to hear about people's builds. If you have builds that you want to post in the comments below, and things that you've tried before with a great success, maybe even equipment. We don't talk too much about equipment because I'm still kind of new with equipping characters, and that's more of a level 40 journey, but we'll definitely talk about equipping in one of these videos in the near future. All right, everybody, thanks again for watching my videos, and please leave comments of what you want to see in the future and ideas and things like that. I want to grow in the game, and it takes a community, or a village, as they say, I guess. All right, take care. Bye.